Everyone, and welcome to another recording of the Live Financially Well podcast. I'm your host, Jason Vitug, founder at frugal.com and author of You Only Live Once, The Roadmap to Financial Wellness and a Purposeful Life. I thought I would do a different setup for this reading, give you an opportunity to actually see me reading my favorite articles, some of the top best performing articles on frugal.com, because I realize that when you are on YouTube, you don't necessarily just want to listen, you want to watch. And who knows, this might actually be a better setup for me reading the articles and kind of like on the cuff giving you commentary. So let's get started. Today's article is Stop Keeping Up with the Joneses, How to Live Your Best Life. Okay, they look fancy, but it's time to stop keeping up with the Joneses. Some of us has been guilty of this, keeping up with the Joneses, the Smiths, the Clarks, or any other family who seems to have it together on your block. In some cases, we're trying to keep up with the Kardashians. I'm not even sure that's a thing anymore, but through their lavish lifestyle shared in every possible media channel. You may not be the jealous type per se, but if you work hard and earn decent money, but can't seem to get ahead, you might wonder, what am I doing wrong? How are they affording bigger homes or taking vacations? And you're probably wondering how they can drive fancier cars. Now, in my first book, You Only Live Once, I wrote, keeping up with the Joneses is trying to live someone else's life instead of spending your time building the life of your dreams. So it's really important for us to build the life of our dreams, meaning we should spend our hard-earned cash on the things we truly value. But when we keep up with the Joneses, we tend to spend on what other people want or spending on other people's value. And that tends to take us away from the most important things. And so a self-evaluation and a review of your money habits are one of the best ways to get your personal finances on track and improve your money situations. Maybe the people living a seemingly good life, these Joneses across the street or your neighbors, are making smarter decisions with their money, and you might be able to learn a thing or two from these people. But oftentimes, it's the complete opposite, and the good life that the Joneses enjoy is nothing short of a facade. Now, there's a mental reason why we spend the way we do, and it's worth reading or listening to The Psychology of Spending to further understand our impulses. But for now, let me share reasons why you should stop keeping up with the Joneses. Number one, they might be up to their eyeballs in debt. The people across the street might be the financial envy of everyone on the block. No matter how bad the economy becomes, they always seem to land on their feet. However, before you praise them for beating the odds, there's a good chance that your financial role models are up to their eyeballs in debt. According to a 2019 statistics regarding American households' credit card debt, the average household with at least one credit card has an outstanding balance of $16,883. The people who live across the street or next door could belong to that group of swipe-happy Americans in debt. It's not that they're earning significantly more than you or that they're making smarter decisions with their money. Rather, they could be choosing to finance their lifestyles and give the illusion that they're doing exceptionally well. Here's a pro tip. Are you like these indebted Joneses? Consider consolidating your credit card balances and follow a debt repayment plan to get rid of debt faster. Now, second reason you don't want to keep up with the Joneses, big home, house broke. Some people don't understand the concept of living below their means. If they have the income to afford something, they're buying it without any thought or consideration to disposable income. The truth of the matter is some of the people you admire are house poor. This phrase refers to those who spend much of their income on house payments and have very little money left over. It can be nice going to a big fancy house, but stressing about affording the other necessities of living can make your home feel like a financial prison. Ideally, house payments should be no more than 28%, and for FHA loans, it's about 30% of your gross income. Yet some people have rent or mortgage payments as high as 40%. They're able to live in a nice, beautiful home, but they might struggle to pay other expenses, such as energy bill and insurances. Here's a pro tip. Make extra money to pay down your mortgage or refinance for lower payments. You might also want to think of downsizing. Find ways to make money with your stuff, your skills, and your space. You can find apps and resources on frugal.com. The third reason is an empty savings account. Unfortunately, when you're house poor, chances are there is zero disposable income for building a cash reserve. Financial experts have always preached the importance of paying yourself first. I certainly do. Some even recommend saving 20% and living off of 80% of your gross income. With this 20%, 10% can go into an emergency fund and the other 10% invested for your retirement. But if all of your money goes to your house payment and there's barely enough money to put gas in your car or food in your refrigerator, then saving is probably a far off idea. According to a 2019 Federal Reserve survey, approximately 44% of Americans don't have $400 to cover an emergency expense. And they would have to borrow money from a friend or a family member in order to meet that emergency obligation. So if the neighbors across the street have a big home and luxury cars, but no cash in savings accounts, consider yourself fortunate and richer if you have a nest egg. Here's a pro tip. Start saving money into an emergency fund each payday. Have a goal of 6 months of living expenses. Consider creating a $1,000 rainy day fund. While emergency funds help you cover living expenses during periods of unemployment and unemployment, a rainy day fund can help you weather the unexpected expenses and bills. Things like a flat tire, medical bill, or an HVAC repair, for instance. Number 4, keeping up with their Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses is a vicious cycle that never ends. Here's the thing. The same way you're trying to keep up with the people across the street, this same family might be trying to keep up with their set of Joneses as well. Basically, as you try to keep up with your Joneses, they're constantly trying to acquire things at the same level as their Joneses. You're both running the very same race and no one wins. Instead of worrying about other people and their money, you only need to be concerned with your income and improving your own personal finances. If you allow other people to control how you spend your money, you're never going to get ahead in life and you're never going to reach your financial goals. Remember, everyone has a struggle. Even if the Joneses' struggle isn't financial, it could be other issues, such as health problems, family issues, or unemployment. They might be a step ahead in the money department, but you might have other joys they haven't experienced. Here's a pro tip. Create a vision for your life and set financial goals that align with your values. And the 5th reason why you don't want to keep up with the Joneses, consuming doesn't bring real happiness. Research has long proved that overconsumption doesn't bring happiness. And if everyone worked harder to get what everyone else has, this isn't going to bring true happiness or satisfaction for you. If anything, the determination to keep up adds to our financial worries. If you think you're stressed now because you're feeling like a loser on the block, imagine how you'll feel once you've maxed out your credit cards because you're financing furniture, clothes, home improvements, and vacations, just to give the impression that you're on the same level as others. Additionally, if you were to lose your job or have an emergency, think of the stress you'll experience from not having enough in your emergency savings, primarily because you spent all your disposable cash maintaining an image. Here's a pro tip. Spend on what matters most to you. Take time to clarify your values and spend accordingly. You work way too hard to earn money just to spend it to impress others while you're stressing yourself out. If you're looking for a financial role model, look to those who spend their money wisely. These people may not live in the big houses or drive the fanciest cars or take the most exotic vacations. Rather, they have zero debt or limited debt, and they have emergency savings and rainy day funds. Most importantly, they might be more content about what they have versus what they don't have, and they don't need to keep up with anyone else. Thank you so much for listening and watching me read the article, Stop Keeping Up with the Joneses, How to Live Your Best Life, Not Theirs. One thing I do want to add, it's so important for us to conceptualize this because I think we've done a really good job in not keeping up with the Joneses, but we are inundated with keeping up with the highlights, or let's say socializing with the highlights. And when I talk about socializing with the highlights, that is social media highlights. Seeing people's best lives or their highlight reels on social media can cause us to spend more or spend on things that truly don't add value to our life. So I want you to understand that what people share on social media isn't necessarily what's happening behind the screen. So you want to be mindful of what you see and be mindful of the algorithms, because the algorithms are going to push things to make you want to consume more things. And be mindful of that, because I understand that marketing does impact us. I understand the need to fit in. And when we aren't aware of these things, we become susceptible and we end up spending money we don't have, or spending money that we do have on things we don't really value. So I want you to keep away from the Joneses and mind the social influence and live your best life. And if you are new to this channel, I ask you to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know about this format. Hopefully it was enjoyable for you. It was a little rough spot, but I'm having fun. And if you are new to this channel, I ask that you hit the subscribe button to get notified every single time I post a new video, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever felt the need to keep up the Joneses? And how did you become aware of it? And what did you do to help yourself? So with that said, I'm Jason Vitug signing off. I'll see you next time.